Hello, Stars and Stripes. I'm Awarbore, and welcome to a playthrough by Awarbore. Holy shit. I'm going to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses for the PlayStation 2. I had recently picked up a HDMI adapter for the PlayStation, the one that you have seen used on the AUNO channel many a time. And with the HDMI adapter, I'm able to use the Elgato. So now I'm going to see what it's like to do a recording by myself for the first time. I am really, really freaking excited. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while. So let's see how this frickin' goes. You see, this was the British Empire in the 1480s, and the War of the Roses, a power struggle between the houses of Lancaster, the Red Rose, and the Yorks, the White Rose, to decide a royal successor was nearing an end. With the Yorkists well in the lead, the reign of Richard III, or as he's more known, Richard III, was but a step away. And in France, Hughie, or Henry Tudor, the last Lancastrian heir, was being forced to live a life of exile with that spiky bullshit hair. And the Lancastrian forces were rendered powerless by ancient cards of sorcery wielded by Seto and his 7 followers, who were known as the Rose Crusaders, served under the flag of Crawford, a powerful Yorkist nobleman. Lacking a duelist to champion their cause, defeat was imminent for the Lancastrians, and in England, duel card games were still at the fledgling stage because they weren't on motorcycles yet. Thus, the Lancastrians had to look elsewhere for a duel master capable of facing the Rosencrews in battle. With this in mind, Margaret my Beaufort of Lancaster secretly requested a High Druid to summon a duelist from her age. And we are gonna hit this floor really fucking hard. Oh shit! Ouch. And here we find a midget who is going, oh. Summon the mystic circle of red and white roses, the one capable of harnessing pure power. The truth was in the legend, the Rose Duelist. Lady Margaret, I did it, and now we have the means for defeating the the Rosencrews. Oh, my apologies and my excitement. I'd forgotten I was in the presence of a Rose Duelist. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Simon McMeeran, High Druid and Servant of Lancaster. May I be so bold to ask the name of the Rose Duelist would like to be known? Now, this is actually kind of interesting. You can actually put in your name if you want. You can put in whatever you want, really. But there are certain names that provoke certain decks. Whatever your name you put in, that will decide the type of deck you're going to get, whether it's fairy-based, warrior-based, cyber-based. There's a lot of them. Well, sort of. There's about a chance of 3, but the one that I do know that always plays out is if you put in fire, you're going to get the oops. If you put in fire, pretty sure it's fire, you're going to get the robotic knight deck, and that deck is pretty broken. It's a pretty high level deck. Fire, a fine name indeed. Now here's the situation. The year is 1485, almost like 1885 and 1985. You know, Back to the Future, Marty McFly. No, fuck y'all. The British Empire is in turmoil, with the House of Lancaster's rightful claim to the throne being challenged by the Yorkist usurpers, and the power struggles is referred to as the Wars of the Roses, a name based on the badges used by both sides. A red rose for the Lancastrians and a white rose for the Yorkists. And by the way, all of these names you're saying, I'm pretty sure all of them, I don't know about Simon McMeeran here, they're all names pulled out of the 100-Year War, or the War of the Roses. They literally took the War of the Roses and turned it into a Yu-Gi-Oh game. Oh god, excuse me, I should not be yelling for you guys. I'm so sorry. It's a little late over here. I've had a very long day of sitting down and playing Bloodborne, and sitting down and eating food, and sitting down and watching TV. I have a very heavy day. We appreciate any help you can provide against them. Oh, and if you guys want to read this dialogue, there's not much to it. They're just kind of explaining how the world works in a kind of sense. Yeah. So think of someone, if someone took chess and then made it bumfuck Yu-Gi-Oh! That is what I'm playing right now. This is actually apparently the second game in a series of 2. I didn't know that until literally just this year. This was actually the first game I ever played on the PlayStation too. That's kind of why I wanted to do it. I was able to get my hands on a copy off of eBay, because I had lost my copy long ago to the realm of GameStop. No, we're not going to play a practice duel because I know what I'm doing. First, Fire, you must select a deck to duel with. It is important that you feel the vibrations of a deck leader. You know, you just grab them right by the crotch and you feel for that vibration in your soul. The cards themselves draw the power from the ancient energies of the Ancient Ones, of the Ancients. And the deck leader acts as the Ancient One. Basically, you're going to get a deck master. Think that season of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you had your deck leader. That, yeah. And you get special stuff out of it. Choose carefully, for the deck you select will guide the destiny of your dudes. And oh shit, I was totally wrong. Oh well. I probably thought Fire was one of them. Oh well. So you can see the decks will actually change depending on the name. Right here I have Birdface, King Tiger Wangu, and the Serpentine Princess. And you can see the average summon level right there. That tells you just about the average, the difficulty of the deck, I guess, or the power of the deck. And you can see their attributes and their races. The races being, this, like, for example, Serpentine Princess has reptiles, dinos, spellcasters, and aqua monsters. Birdface has beast, winged beast, dragon, and spellcasters. And King Tiger Wangu only will have beasts. Or the main races are beasts. And of course their attributes. For this one, I've actually never used any of these decks. I mostly ever used Arcanite Parshath or Robotic Knight. But let's give Birdface a shot. He might actually help us. We're going to go with the Red Rose campaign first. So we're going to be fighting Weevil and Rex. And Weevil is a bit of a dick. Period. Because he no matter what, he's going to go for the ultimate, perfectly ultimate Great Moth strategy. And here comes Mr. Screw the Rules himself. It's been some time since the Battle of Barnattle won. Rosencruz, what brings you here? Only a member of the Rose Crusaders may call me by that name, you may recall. I told you once before you will only address me as... Shit, yo. He shoves his glasses back up into his face. Or does memory fail you, old man? And you must be the dreaded Rose Duelist. There is an aura of power emanating from you. I believe an introduction is in order. I am settled. You've only said that twice now, and it says it on your name tag. I'm just saying, for 2001, I expect better gaming abilities. I ask you again, what brings you here, Seto? Mind your manners, old man. What else would bring me here except for I've come for the Rose cards? And I just want my Rose cards, combined with the transport powers of the White Rose cards. He wanted to do, he wants to basically summon what he thinks is the ultimate deity, which will win the war for them, which is dumb because they were already winning anyway. Obviously, all they needed to do is just walk over and raffle stomp. I can't really see what the problem was they needed a super deity of death for. Just saying. Spell of Doom, fool! I want these cards because if I add them to my collection, then no one can have them, and then I can rip them in half! Because no one else can have them. In the circle, and there's a lot of talking. A lot of talking. I forgot how much talking is in the beginning of this game. I'm gonna skip it. We'll be back momentarily. Okay, we'll just come in right here. So here, basically, Seto is like, hey, if you join us and we kick their asses, we'll send you home, la-di-da, if you help us out. Simon's like, please don't do that because they're evil and they want to rape our butts. So he's like, okay, well, we'll let this guy decide. And so you have the Lancastrians or the Yorkists. Fun thing to notice, the White Rose, who are supposed to be supposedly bad, are above the Lancastrians, who are supposed to be quote-unquote good. Now, another thing, if you choose Lancastrians, there's a little bit of extra dialogue involved. We're going to do it just for the sake of getting it out of the way. But I'm just going to say right off the bat, Yuki's campaign, the Red Rose campaign, is technically the not-so-great one. Oh shit, I left my phone on loud. I'm so sorry. You may do whatever you want to me. So we're going to go over to the French Empire and the Bretagne. And basically they're introducing us to Henry Tudor, or Yuki boy Mick Purple Hair. And you can actually see Grandpa on the back. Joey is sitting in that extra seat, and Shadi is that priesty dude. We're gonna get this shit out of the way. Like, yeah, we've got the fine Rose Duelist. You serve us well. Summon my mother. My mother was wise in summoning you from Scotland. Who's supposed to be my, by the way, apparently. You honor me, sire. Duelist, I am Yugi. Actually, Henry Tudor is my name, but I find it tiresome you may call me Yugi. Don't know where you got the name Yugi, sir, but alright, whatever skins your penis. I'm sure he relayed to you what the fuck I want out of my butt. I guess he did, sir. He wants them red rose cards. Well, you have the red rose cards. You want the white rose cards. Although we Celts have the red rose cards, we can't do jack diddly squat without the white rose cards. That's real fucking cool. Cards of another color. So we want the colored cards. Now we want the white cards to join the colored cards. I'm sorry, normally I play the white rose campaign right off the bat. And by normally, I mean that's what I did as a kid. Because I was an evil little butt. And I didn't want to be with Yugi. I wanted to be with Seto, because Seto had the blue eyes. So we're gonna have to invade. We're gonna go through this butt-fucking amount of dialogue. This is probably the most amount of dialogue you're gonna have to get through in the game, by the way. Right after this, it's just straight gameplay. My jaw is so tired. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I talk too much? No, that can't be right. Leave a comment down below. Damn, look at them flappy wings. Alright, so our first two duels are right there. The brown is Rex Raptor and Tewksbury, and the color of their platform tells you kind of like what terrain they're going to have. So because this is brown, it's mostly going to be Wasteland and Labyrinth. And then over here is in Chester is Weevil Underwood, who is going to be majority forest with, I think, bits and pieces of mountain in him. And also, right next to them, you see that DC with a number. That's their deck challenge level. You have to be equal to or below that to even fight them. You cannot be overpowered. You have to be equal to or below. You can see our current deck challenge rating is 814, so we can take either of them on, and we don't even have extra cards to mess with anyway. But let's just check out our deck. Why don't we not?